we're back on the Morning Brew with Friends, and we're laughing about the digital dark age. This is great, because this is one of the things we've been talking about here. Is the idea that so many people anymore are just turning off all their devices, you know? Like, I couldn't live without my phone. And it's just on me at every moment, you know? And it's even getting text while we're here.
Yeah, Dan, I'm laughing at you because you can't say stuff like that around the founder of a tech company without me having palpitations.
Right. Tech company, tech guy. Like, I mean, this is, you know, even probably in banking, it's just got to be a thing you guys need, right?
You bet.
And, you know, have you just thought about just turning it off and saying, done?
Well, I take a break from my bank phone over the weekend just to give me a little break, but I've got my iPhone going full time.
Yeah. Well, what about, like, you know, using apps and, you know, things like the winner of your guys' competition, the journaling thing, and all these things really are becoming part of our lives in ways that we can't imagine anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they're part of our lives. They're also the way we keep in touch with family, with friends. I mean, they really have crept into all the personal sides of what we're doing. I don't know. You're a better man than I am. I don't know if I could put my phone down for 2 straight days.
Or put away even the idea of something in your case, you know, or without email you'd be stuck. I'd be dead in the water if I didn't have my email.
Well, it's moving to wearables now, so
it is.
It might just be, you know, in your jacket or something.
Right. I mean, do you think that's a thing? Like, is that? I have a hard time believing that it will be in my jacket at some point. I mean, is that really getting there? Like,
it may already be.
We're already there. I'm actually shopping on Amazon as we speak.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
You're just right here on your hoodie.
Yeah, behind my eyes. Yes. No. It's one of those things that if at CES this year, it was quite incredible to see the explosion of wearables, watches, anything that fits on your glasses, something in your clothes. All of this stuff was taking over. That's taking that technology out of your pocket and making it part of your person.
Right. I don't know.
It's on the fashion runways now.
It is. Absolutely. And what about the iCar? The new cars that you just drive themselves. I mean, that's a thing that I guess an Apple iCar might be a little more fun than maybe the Google car or the
provided it doesn't
Windows
use Apple
8.
Maps, I'm feeling better about it already.
Or the Windows 8 car might be. I have Windows 8. I'm still getting used to all the different things and swapping around, you know. And I hate to drive with a touch screen like that. But I mean, are these the kinds of things that you're looking forward to in your life? I mean, would you buy one?
I want nothing to do with a car that drives itself.
At all?
I'm an old guy, so I'll probably be moving on before that comes to pass. But I love to drive, and I don't want somebody doing that for me.
You want to have full control of your car?
Absolutely.
I feel the same way when I fly.
Well, I'll tell you, Dan, I'm looking forward to the drivable, you know, the self-driving cars and all these different things. But you know me, I'm a bit of a car guy. I'm never going to get over those Saturday afternoons blasting through the Mesa.
You've got your hot rod.
Yeah, you're never going to get over that.
Right? Yeah. It's one of those things you just can't.
And when Siri's doing that at a reasonable speed, it just doesn't seem quite the same.
Right. Yeah. You're like, no doubt. Like, you're on the freeway, like, Siri, merge.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
It's not the same kind of thing as just putting your foot down and
totally agree.
You know, hearing the engine rev up. You know, I'm really interested though to see what happens with self-driving cars and all of that. And then, you know, one of the things that we were just watching because we just love this stuff. It's the Saturday Night Live 40th anniversary. Anybody watch that last night?
Yes.
Yes.
My Facebook news
You never
feed
met
is
Robbie
blowing
with-
up.
Oh,
It's amazing, right? What are people commenting on yours?
Just, you know, thank you for all the laughs and all these great years in memory.
Of course,
It seems like
yeah.
It's a good trip down memory lane.
Right.
Man, everyone's got their favorites. I mean, it doesn't get any better than Dana Carvey and the Church Lady. Come on now. It doesn't get any better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And then there's like the whole Kanye stuff.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Although I got to admit, I watched. I guess it was the Miley Cyrus thing last night, and I didn't even recognize her. I was like, who is that? And I was like, wait, that's Miley. And she was doing like Paul Simon songs, and it was great. It was fun. You know, like you don't often get to see that. You know, it was great. I'm wondering, like, I think Saturday Night Live is one of those real touchstones. I'm wondering what the next big one will be. You know, 40 years ago when it launched, I mean, it was a thing. No one had ever seen anything like that before, right? I mean, it was mind-blowing. And I'm waiting. What do you guys think the next big thing like that will be? Will it be something like wearables? Will it be something like the iCar? Will it be the next big cultural thing?
My guess is it's something that hasn't even been thought of yet.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we could get really weird talking about those topics. I mean, we're talking about the democratization of data where now it's available to everyone. That's a huge trend. Now we're starting to involve biology with a lot of that. I mean, we could really go down the road and see what the world would look like in 20 years.
Right. I mean, just coming from the email side of things, to think that of course, you could use our technology to pay 2 times on your wrist.
Right.
But then to think of email marketers being able to know exactly when you're awake and when you're on a jog, and being able to push that information out to you at just the right time.
Right. As you're on the trail, like you're on the
What do
Bosque
we do
Trail.
with that data?
Right.
Are we okay with that? Is it good?
Right.
To me, it's a good thing as a consumer. But
I love the data. I'm perfectly happy to have my entire life tracked because there's powerful moments that you receive yourself as a consumer for that.
Right. And then if you have somebody with a journaling app, like your winner from your
for example,
Friday, just for example, not to segue into that or anything.
No, I mean, and I think that's a great example. I mean, Luke's app is one of those things that he got a lot of the oh wow moments because it was intuitive, it was easy, and it was those kinds of things that everyone could see themselves using. It was really quite neat.
Right. And we can find that at the bowtie.io site, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. And then for Startup Santa Fe, what are you guys looking at? What kinds of companies are you seeing in Santa Fe? What are you seeing launching up there? Is it, in Albuquerque, we're seeing software companies and development companies, and what are you seeing there?
There's really just a cross-section. I mean, the whole state offers a lot of different startups across a lot of different industries. So, really what we're trying to do is to provide access to those as a locator. Somebody drops in on the site and we want to route them to one of these great programs or workshops or partners or startups. We think it's going to be a huge effort with a lot of great payoff for all the citizens across the state. So it's really a cross-section.
Yeah. And Pat, what are you seeing on the side, on the banker side of things for this? I mean, I hear a lot about people saying they want to get business loans or trying to get business loans, and you guys have money for this, but you're not, new banking rules are making it harder. I mean, how can you guys help startups? How can you guys help these new companies as a banker?
Well, startups are a challenge for us, but we can provide some great banking products and help connect them with some lenders, maybe some non-traditional lenders even, that can help provide some of that funding for you.
Because when you're in the startup world, most people have to go venture funding or family and friends and try to beg money out of everybody, right? But there are ways. People don't realize it, but there are ways, right? You can go to a bank and you guys can help out and launch a startup, right?
We can. Sometimes we can work through the SBA. There are some great nonprofit lending organizations here: Oxion, New Mexico, West Corp, the Loan Fund.
Right.
So
people forget about the Loan Fund. Those guys actually have a lot of money, and they're actually trying to get the word out about that all the time.
Yeah. And all of those organizations do a great job of working with people that maybe can't qualify for a bank loan for one reason or another.
Right, right. Is it tougher right now to do bank loans for startups, or has that just always been tough?
It's always been a challenge, but now probably more so than ever.
Because of the new banking rules, because of the Dodd-Frank rules, or?
That's right. That's one of the unfortunate backlashes of when you get an economy that's overheated and some lending takes place maybe that in hindsight shouldn't have. So now the pendulum has swung back the other way, and we just can't do some loans that maybe 10 or 15 years ago we could have.
Yeah, and that's where you see the high risk, high reward side of that equation suffering a little bit as we start seeing that pendulum swing back because the appetite changes from an investment standpoint.
Right, right. Oh, before we forget, we've got a whole bunch of ways you can reach out to everybody here at the table. We got Sean at Startup Santa Fe. You can find you guys at startupsantafe.org.
.com.
You are a .com.
Yes,
.com. And then for Pat, you can look you up at the bank, but you can also find you in everything for Chocolate Fantasy at the Museum Foundation
Which
website.
Sounds amazing, by the way.
It's so much fun. You're still new to town. If you haven't been to Chocolate Fantasy,
I've never
it's a
been,
blast.
and as the rest of the team back at the office will attest to, if there's any snack that I have all the time, it's chocolate something. So
Right.
yes, I'm clearly your demographic.
Right, and you can also find more, a whole lot more about that about thecurioustownie.com. And then we got AppPay,
exactly.
and your sites are appay.com,
ATPAY.
ATPAY, and then bowtie.io. And you can find
Yep.
most of the guys who competed in Friday night's event.
Yep, you'll see links to their applications. You'll see those kinds of things, and you can always follow our company at on Twitter at bowtie_io as well.
And of course, at Morning Brew, we have our own host of social media stuff where you can find us on YouTube's at Morning Brew, on Facebook at Morning Brew Show, and then tweet at us or with us at My Morning Brew. And you can find out a whole lot more also on our own awesome new website at the Morning morningbrew.tv, where you can find clips of this, wonderful photos of me and the set and everything. So we're going to be back tomorrow with a whole lot more. We got a great show tomorrow coming up. We got Adam Baca from Albuquerque, the magazine, Turner from the city, and David Lang, the director of the Advanced Manual Therapy at the UNM Center for Life. It's just going to be a fun show tomorrow, too. So a whole lot more. Thanks for Morning Brew with Friends.